back to a vivid memory. Got it. Now think back to what you had for dinner 2 weeks ago. The chances are that you are able to recall the first, but not the second. So why is that? Okay, so let's look at how memory forms in the first place. When you experience something like you are dialing a phone number, the experience is converted into a pulse of electrical energy that zips along a network of neurons. The information would first land in short term memories, where it could last for a few seconds to a couple of minutes. Then it's transferred to long term memory through areas such as hippocampus, and finally to several storage regions across the brain. The neurons across the brain communicate at sites called synapses and using specialized neuron transmitter. The special thing is that the more they communicate, the better their communication efficiency. This process, called long-term presentation, is considered to be the mechanism by which memories are stored long-term. But how do some memories get lost? There are some factors. There's some reason behind this. First is age. As we get older, synapses begin to falter and weaken and affect how easily we can retrieve our memories. And several theories have been proposed by scientists behind these deteriorations from actual brain shrinkage. Like the hippocampus will loses about 5% of its neurons every decade, and a total loss of about like 20% by the time you are 80 years old. And it leads to the drop of neuron transmitter, which is vital to learning and memory. This changes seems to affect people, affect the process of which people retrieve their information, and the age also affects our memory making decision, memory making abilities. Memories are encoded most strongly when we pay attention or when the piece of information is meaningful to us. And when we get older, our mental and physical health problems increase, and they affect our ability to pay attention, and thus they act as memory thieves. Another leading cause for memory problem is chronic stress. When we are constantly overloaded with work or personal responsibilities, our bodies are on hyper alert, and this is a response that help us to survive in a crisis. Stress chemicals also help to mobilize energy and increase alertness. However, with chronic stress, our body becomes flooded with these chemicals, resulting in a loss of brain cells and the inability to form new one, which affect our ability to attain new information. And depression it's another culprit. People with depression are 40% more likely to develop memory problems, like the low level of serotonin, a neurotransmitter connected to arousal, may make depressed individual less attentive to new information. Dwelling on sad events in the past, which is another symptom of depression, makes it difficult to pay attention to the present, affecting the ability to store short-term memories. Isolation, which is also tied to depression, is another memory theme. A study by the Harvard School of Public Health found that older people with higher level of social integration have a slower rate of memory decline over a 6-year period. The exact reason remain unclear, but experts suspect that social interaction gives our brain a mental workout, just like you give yourself a body physical workout. So basically, we have to use our brain or risk losing it. So we have to avoid having memory problem. There are few steps that you can take to aid your brain and to preserve your memory. So make sure you keep physically active and increase blood, because increased blood flow to the brain is helpful. And we must eat well to have a balanced diet. and because our brain needs all the right nutrition to keep functioning correctly. And besides, you need to give your brain a workout by exposing it to challenges like learning new languages. And learning new languages is also one of the best defense to keep your memories intact.